Hi, my name's David, and I'm a writer and an alien. When I say alien, I mean I'm an INFJ, and this is the first video that I'm doing to kind of explain a little bit about what the hell it's like being one of these, being one of these alien creatures in this world. I'm not being overly dramatic, though INFJs have a tendency to get a little bit of drama on them. But I just sort of wanted to explain, I don't know, just show you through my eyes how I see the world as an INFJ. Some of the things as a mature INFJ, I'm in my 40s, how that's maybe changed me a little bit. A more stable INFJ is one that's just a bit more aware of how their brain works. And how screwed up it is, and that it's just never going to change because that's the way you're wired, which is totally cool. So the way I decided to do this was I'm going to have a bunch of videos about this kind of stuff, just being an INFJ, what's it like, a little bit about the functions and everything else. But I wanted to get just some general topics, and so I bought a pack of cards. They're over there somewhere. And this pack of cards is basically like prompts. They're like writing prompts or talking prompts for making conversation or getting a conversation started. And I thought, what a cool way to just, I don't know, grab some topics and just throw them out. So the first one I grabbed, which was totally random, it wasn't, and I've never heard before, I did, is one that's names something about yourself that other people might not understand. So I figured three things. I'm going to give you three things about being one of these weird-ass aliens that might help you understand what we're like a little bit more. First thing you may not know or may not understand about an INFJ, we hate surface-level conversation. It's the worst. Being invited to like a party or like a work party where there's a bunch of people that you're kind of acquainted with asking you like, hey, how are the kids? And hey, what's going on with you? And what's your job like? And how's the weather? And how about that baseball team? And how many touchdowns does it take to make a home run or whatever? These things are just, they're torture for an introverted extrovert, which is what an INFJ is. I'll talk about that in just a moment. I would much rather, first of all, group settings are the worst anyway, but I would much rather sit with somebody one-on-one, look them in the eyes, and instead of talking about the weather or their kids or their job, or because I kind of don't care, it doesn't do anything for me internally, and there's a reason for that. I would much rather just say, hey, talk to me about one of the most formative events you've ever experienced in your life. Is there a person in your life that absolutely fundamentally changed who you are and how you see the world? I don't know. Give me something that's in your heart. Don't give me frickin' like it's 40 degrees and cloudy outside. I don't give a shit what the weather is outside. I want to know you. INFJs love this kind of stuff. It's that one-on-one conversation that just really lets us dive into a person and figure them out. We are people who put together puzzles. It's how we work. We like to figure things out. We like to put pieces together. We like to examine it all and see it all. And it's not out of being nosy. It's about getting to the heart of a matter. And that's kind of what INFJs do. It's what sort of drives us. The second thing to understand about INFJs is that we are introverted extroverts. I am a well-disguised introvert. I can operate in a crowd for years. I ran my own martial arts dojo, and I've got, in any given time, 20 or 30 people in front of me, and I'm shouting at them and giving them directions, and we're having a good time, and everything is really energetic, and I'm instructing, and I'm in front of all of them and interacting with everybody. And when I get home, my brain slides out of my skull. Look, you've heard it. Peopling is hard. For an INFJ, peopling isn't hard. Peopling is exhausting. Working with others in some kind of a public way where you've got a lot of different personalities and everything else, it makes our brains tired because our brains are working overtime in that environment. So there's 4 functions for an INFJ. The first one is called introverted intuition, which means that everything, the most processing that our brains do is all in here on a level that's just below our conscious awareness. It's kind of like your brain has its own little tentacles and stuff, and there's a giant puzzle piece, or a giant puzzle loaded with pieces, and the pieces change every moment of the day, and you've got to figure it all out. You don't know you're doing it, but in the background of your head, in your subconscious, your mind is going crazy, and it's putting this puzzle together, trying to figure it out. What are all these things that I'm taking in? I'll give you, for instance, like a real life example. I may have somebody that walks into a room where I am, and there's a bunch of other people, and immediately I feel something's a little off. And what's happening is my brain is gathering all of this data. It's gathering all of this information and trying to fit it together. INFJs are huge on patterns and building patterns. And so my brain is like, okay, somebody just walked in. Their shoulders are a little slumped. Maybe their face is a little red. Perhaps their eyes are a little bit red. Their mood is different from when I normally see them. Something is wrong. What could have happened? They just came from work. Maybe they had a bad day at work. I know something's been going on. They weren't getting along with a coworker or something along those lines. All of these things are happening, and I don't even realize that they're happening as an INFJ. I don't know. My brain's doing it on its own. It notices this stuff, and it's just trying to figure all this stuff out. Eventually, something bubbles up, and it smacks me in the head, and it says, that person had a bad day. And now I've got an awareness of it. But all that other stuff just kind of happened without it. All I get is this weird feeling inside like something's wrong. My brain's what's doing all the work to figure out what it is and then kind of present the results to me. It's a strange feeling, this introverted intuition, and you just kind of have to be in tune to it as an INFJ. It's sort of working all the time, whether you like it or not. And when you get that sinking feeling in your stomach, that little pit where it's just everything's off and wrong, it's usually something that your brain is figuring out that you really haven't realized yet. So anyway, back to the first list that I was giving you. The third thing that you may not know about an INFJ is that we find it very difficult to take care of ourselves. Oh, why can't I just enjoy life? It'd be great, but I can't too much. We have a hard time taking care of ourselves because everything focused internally is us processing things, and most of our external focus is on making others happy and how we affect things. We're idealists. We like to change things. We like to improve our community, the people around us. We're great as coaches and mentors and things like that. It's great to bring people along, to teach people. Hell, it's the reason I'm doing these videos, to document what's going on myself as far as my writing and everything else, but also to hopefully help out people that are writing and struggling with the same thing that I am. I am scratching that itch for external feeling right now. Do you like that? That scratching? Kind of works. Well, so taking care of ourselves isn't really something that's immediately in our nature. It's one of the things that our minds and our hearts don't really prioritize over anything else. So it is tough for us to enjoy a great day out unless we're really feeling something about that day out. Otherwise, it's just external stimulus, and we kind of don't understand it all that much. That pretty much wraps up. Three things that you may not understand about an INFJ that kind of helps if you know one or you are one, just to understand about yourself. First, surface conversation, total no-no. Don't do it. Don't talk like that to an INFJ. We really, really don't care about the deal you just got on like yoga pants at some clearance store somewhere. It's not our thing. Sorry. We need help taking care of ourselves. So anything that you can do for an INFJ friend that you care deeply about, where you let them know, like, look, everything's cool. Why don't we go do something that maybe you'll enjoy? Make sure that's something that hammers at that feeling that we have. More than any kind of a gift or anything else, honestly, the best thing for me as an INFJ is sitting down over a great cup of coffee with one person and having a deep and meaningful conversation. That's really what we need. It's the best gift. We are aliens. It's not easy being one of us, but we have a lot to offer. And, hopefully this video has helped. Thanks. Oh, subscribe, wherever that thing is. I don't really know.